Hey everyone, welcome back to a new year. I'm back at it again with your favorite quality reviews of Warframe. Yeah, intro. I don't think we have an intro. We've been away for a while, but that doesn't mean that the weapons have stopped coming. We have a lot to cover for this year, so we're gonna start off good. We don't have just one weapon, not two weapons, not three weapons, but we got 4 weapons to cover in one single episode. Can you believe it? Now today's collection I've dubbed the Corinth collection, kind of because I really like the alliteration. It says the Corinth collection, even though if you're paying attention right now on the screen, there is the Quartakk, which it's not the Corinth. I don't care. It's the Corinth collection. We're going to start off with the Quartakk. Guys, lube up because we got 4 weapons to go. We're going to go in deep right now with the Quartakk. Let's get ready. Buckle up. Now the Quartakk, it says annihilate targets with 4 simultaneous shots from this high caliber Grineer rifle. And those are a lot of words. To be honest, it are a lot of very powerful words. I'm pretty sure that if Schwarzenegger were to say them, you'd be like, hell yeah. But pretty much it doesn't really say anything. It's annihilate targets with this high caliber Grineer rifle. It's pretty much what you expect from a rifle. If it would say tickle targets with this Grineer rifle, no one would fucking use it. Then next on the list we have the Stubba, which is the secondary submachine gun. It says inflict rapid bursts of pain with this Grineer submachine gun. Now I'm liking the sound of that a little bit more. It has an alarming noise. I feel it's going to be a faring alarming weapon, so make sure you watch out for it. It may be small, but it will be more surprising than you think. Now the melee of today doesn't really have to do something with a gun. Unlike the name suggests, the Gunsen, it doesn't really shoot anything or look anything like a gun. It's more like those anime things that people may throw. But with that said, let's go to the description. It says, Gunsen, lacerate attackers with 2 razor-sharp Warfans. Warfans? Did you just say Warfans? I'm a bit of a Warframe fan. And finally, we have the Corinth. The Corinth has by far the longest piece of description, which we'll read out right now. Corinth, deliver a massive punch with each blast with a shotgun, or launch a round that explodes mid-air, knocking down nearby enemies. Now, having the most text probably means that 1, there was more to say about this weapon, or 2, people cared more about this weapon than they wanted to write more. I'm not saying that it is truly one of those 2 things. Kudos would be one other thing, but take this as a little bit of foreshadowing as to what it means for this weapon within this collection. So without further ado, let's go right into playing Warframe. Now of course I'm only here to bring you the best of the best gameplay, so I'll bring you the most interesting stage that I can give you to display these wonderful, wonderful weapons. Now let's go look at the Quartakk. The Quartakk, as you can see, fires 4 simultaneous shots at the same time. Let me repeat that, it fires 4 simultaneous shots at the same time. Can you fucking see them? No. Do you care? No. Overall, it's pretty much a bit of a waste of a gimmick. The 4 simultaneous shots are so close to each other that they could as well be 1. It doesn't really make a change, however, it does consume more ammo than you may think. And at the same time, it's not as useful as, let's say, a Sanctity Tigress, where you could hold your click and then shoot the 2 bullets separately from each other, giving it at least a little bit more use. However, what we also have is the melee. And the melee, as you can see, doesn't do a bad job of killing some infested. It looks rather good, and for the very first time, this is the very first melee I've seen that in quick melee also makes use of the stance, or at least that I can see. Which I think is a very good feature, because no one in their right mind would switch over to their melee to use a pause or a long click. That's completely fucking pointless and a waste of time. So it is really cool, but there's one tiny thing which I shall demonstrate right now. Now imagine that you're in the situation where you're surrounded by infested, but you don't have any ammo in your gun at all. I mean, no ammo in your gun at all. Now you have to quickly use their melee, which is a 5. Luckily, I don't have any open spots right now where they could attack me in. I do kind of like it when Warframe gives a little form, a little beauty factor to a Warframe or a weapon, when they give it something nice to look at or something fun and gimmicky. However, I'm a guy that likes function over form, and this time it's more form over function. You see, when you're waving it may look cute, but you're left completely defenseless, completely powerless, and even though these are low-level infested, if you're gonna go to higher levels, you're completely useless when it comes to quick meleeing, which you normally do in tense situations where you really need to kill the enemies around you or you'll frickin' die. Now, where the previous two weapons kind of belonged with the infested shit that we were in a moment ago, right now we've come to the glory, or the former glory, of the moon, which I think is more fitting for the next two weapons that we have. Now we're going to start off with the Stubba, which looks like the smaller, less dangerous version of the Quartakk. And on first sight you'd say, yeah, that's really the case, you know? It only got one shot at the same time, it doesn't have four, and it's so small, but in fact, this thing is actually really good. If you look at what a secondary is supposed to do, kind of fill in the gaps where the primary falls short, the Stubba doesn't do a really good job. It has a good fire rate, kills enemies, which is the most important thing. Now finally we have the Corinth, which is the most boring looking weapon of the bunch. However, what this thing does do is it kills. It does do a good chunk of damage, but aside from being a good shotgun overall, if you press the secondary fire mode, it will kill. Now, the nice thing about the secondary fire mode is that not everyone can use it. It has a specific distance at which it works, so if you shoot too close, it will not do anything at all. If you shoot too far, it will not be as effective. Overall, what we take away from this Corinth collection is that we have two good weapons, the Corinth and the Stubba. They're really good because they do what they're supposed to do, which I like. If you want to add extra features, make sure that they add on to what the weapon is supposed to do and not make them kinda meaningless. The Corinth is a good example of adding in a feature that actually also requires an extra skill, but is useful if you know how to use it. It's really good, it's really fun to use it, but you don't have to, because the shots itself are rather good. But we also have to remember that this is a mid-update weapon release, so what else can we expect? If we get something good, we get something good. If we get something bad, we get something bad. We'll just kind of have to take it and leave it. So if you like this video, make sure you comment down below, and if you have something to say, make sure you like. We're doing it the other way around.